Today we're talking about the 3 mistakes new nannies often make. Recently, I was interviewing a nanny, and when I asked what courses she had taken to upgrade her skills, gain more knowledge in this area, she had told me she knows everything there is to know. And I can tell you, that told me everything I needed to know about this nanny. So today, let's go over the top 3 mistakes new nannies often make. If we haven't met before, I'm Michelle Kelsey, founder of the Nanny Solution by Nannies on Call. Each week, I bring you new videos to educate you on how to get better jobs and make more money. Let's dive right into this quick topic today. So these are the 3 mistakes that I see new nannies making that are the biggest mistake. Number 1 is lack of clear communication with the parents. It is so important to have communication from the start. In pretty much every other video, I'm talking about communication. This means everything from discussing expectations, giving feedback when you're not happy about the way something's happening, or just general daily routines. Without good communication, misunderstandings often occur. How many nannies have you seen complaining about the fact that families are home 15 minutes, 30 minutes late, and they're not being compensated for this? Making sure you're sitting down and setting up expectations will also help you with job satisfaction. A few things to think about in terms of communication. Once you're in a nanny job, make sure you're setting up regular times for check-ins. If the family doesn't do this, you can be the leader in this. Set up an every Friday and every Tuesday, a call on the phone, whatever works best for you and the family. Set something up that's regular, and you know that every week or every month you're going to get together to talk about any issues that have come up. Number 2, daily updates. This can get a little more challenging. I know a lot of times nannies don't see the families at the end of the day, but some kind of note written, like we had a great day, we did crafts, we went to the park, we had this for lunch, or if it's a younger child, diaper changes, bottle feeding, everything written out so there's no questions at the end of the day. And number 3 is be honest and transparent. There's no point in holding it in when something's frustrating or bothering you, because these things build and build and build, and then before it, you're ready to quit, when maybe a simple conversation could have solved it months ago. Mistake number 2, not setting boundaries. It is super easy for nannies to say yes to everything that's asked and not set boundaries or limits to their time and their needs. When you're setting boundaries for healthy work-life balance, you want to talk about things like hours, schedule, working responsibility, and duties. As soon as things start going outside of the scope, that's when you need to have a conversation and come back to communication. A few things to think about inside of boundaries is setting up clear boundaries. Number 1, defining your work hours. I know a lot of families want your hours to be flexible and ever moving, but that makes it very hard for you to have a life outside of work. So defining your work hours and sticking to those work hours. If they'd like you to babysit on a Saturday night and you're open to that, then you can tell them sure. But if you want to keep your weekends for yourself, that's all you need to say. I'm sorry, I'm not available on the weekends. Number 2, outline your responsibilities. So again, determine the jobs that are within your scope and the things that aren't. Coming into the Monday morning mess and a sink full of dishes is not in your scope, then you need to sit down and communicate with the family. So write out a very detailed job description of all the things you take care of. Children's playroom, children's clothing, cleaning up after children's meals, and everything else is not your responsibility. That's not to say that sometimes if there's extra time and you want to help out, you don't do those things. But being clear about the expectations of what your job responsibility is the first step. And number 3 is take breaks. We've talked about this before in other videos. It's really hard for nannies to get breaks. But can you take a few minutes when the children are having their lunch or doing independent play? Can you take a break when the children are down for a nap? You deserve this time to take a break, and too often nannies work straight through that time when otherwise they could have been sitting and having a moment to themselves. Mistake number 3 is neglecting professional development. I spoke about this at the beginning when a nanny had said that they didn't need to take any other courses, but things are changing and adapting. There are different rules about how you put a child down to sleep, what can be in the crib, than there were when I had my children. Raising children and their safety is an ever adapting and changing field. So staying up to date or just learning some new skills will help develop you as a nanny. Here are a few ways to stay up to date on the latest childcare techniques. Number 1, attend workshops or seminars. This is a great way to meet other people in the field as well. Every additional course on your resume is a great benefit to every family you work with and will help you with better potential job offers. Number 2, take a course online. At Nannies on Call and the Nanny Solution, we have a great online course for new nannies. The link is in the description below, and it goes over everything you need to think about, to communicate with, to set up for as a new nanny. So it's a great course if you want to have a look at that one. Number 3, it could be as simple as just reading a book or some articles. This will help you keep learning and growing. Growing and developing as a nanny and learning the mistakes and the pitfalls often other nannies have gone through will help you to be more satisfied and happy in your job position. If you have any other tips for nannies, please leave them below so that we can learn from each other. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.